As soon as it starts. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Overland 870 podcast. I'm Brad from Narwhal Adventures, and tonight I have my good friend BJ Hale with me here from Xterra Overland. BJ, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you for having me tonight.
I had a little surprise for you there for the intro.
That it was one of those, like, brought a little tear to the eye. That was pretty good.
You couldn't see it. I stood up and took my hat off, did the whole thing.
That was quite genuine. That was awesome.
You can thank Dan from the Crayon Brotherhood. He put that together for me this morning. He cut it out real fast and got it in there. Awesome. But man, I'm really glad to have you here. I've been wanting to have you on the show for a minute, and I'm just super stoked to talk to you, brother. It's been a few minutes since we've got to talk face to face anyway.
Yeah.
So let's just skip the what got you into overlanding thing. Let's skip that tonight because we've already been chit chatting and everything else.
Yep.
Let's jump right into how me and you met.
Let's start the fire and throw gas.
Let's start the fires.
Well, so there was this one time I went camping, and my rowdy bunch of friends and I almost got kicked out of camp.
Yeah.
And here comes Brad from across the field. He gives me his hat and says, "Brother, I'm with you." And from that point on, we continued to drink together for the rest of that weekend.
Yep, we did. We had a good time. Yeah, you guys took the raw end of the stick. We sure there at a Rito. We talked about that's what started the whole Free Canada thing. That kind of got us all tied together there. So. It was fun. It wasn't just me, though.
Where or what or why?
You guys managed to unify an entire area of the campground. Like it was almost like a scene from Braveheart. Everybody just came together, got all unified. It was pro Canada all weekend for the rest of the time.
The next morning, like the inflow of people that kept just coming in from every angle, and we're really sorry about that. We're really, that's not the kind of people we are, and that's not what we do, and we don't do, we would never treat you like that. And here's I don't know, million-year-old Texas bourbon that you should try at 10 in the morning, right? And like it was crazy that everybody was just like, we're really sorry, and the only people that didn't apologize were the event staff.
Yeah, that that started a little bit of trouble up amongst everybody, but it's okay. I think they've got the point of the matter that because you guys travel, how long did it take you guys to get to Canada from here to there?
It was like 2,000 kilometers. So
that is 150 million miles in English.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Well, I mean, you convert that over to Americanese, and that's like 2 miles or something, right?
Yeah, something like that.
But no, it took us a few days to get down there, and I mean, we get down there, and the idea, I mean, everything we knew about the whole event was it's big social
Party.
event. It's a party, right? You know, like everybody's gonna group together at this great big, rendezvous at the Ozarks thing, and we came down.
We were going to drink.
Of course, right?
Yeah.
And I think ultimately there was something that was just an opportunity that was lost there.
Yeah.
Especially, be it Friday or Saturday night, where the event didn't have something for, especially when nobody could have bonfires, nobody could have fires. Right?
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah.
Drought, right? So I felt like something was missing there. Like, I mean, they had a great big stage that could have easily had a live band playing, something like that, right? Just to give people something to do, a reason to leave their.
I think that's something they're actually talking about right now. Is they're kind of changing that up a little bit. Hello, here we go. There we go. They're changing that up a little bit now. I think they're bringing in bringing in a band or something like that. But you guys had like this, back to the whole party thing. The last time I was at Rito before you guys came in, that was a big thing. Everybody was partying and having a good time. Everybody was laughing and cut up. And you guys had the setup, man. How many guys? You had several. What do you have? 6?
We had 6.
You had 6 rigs in with you guys. You had the lights up, the disco ball. You had the whole thing going on.
We had a flagpole.
Yeah, you had a flagpole out there. Yeah,
and the Canadian flag. And I mean, like when we landed there, I mean, the reception wasn't like, oh, wow, you guys came, from Canada.
I was impressed.
Right. It was very, it was very like, okay, go out there somewhere kind of thing. But, and like we literally, I looked at him, I said, where do we go if we don't want to bother anybody? Right. Like, and, knowing that we're going to have our little music on and have some drinks. Right. And, and I just said, where can we go that we're not going to bother? And he's like, well, he said, there's people back in the trees. He said, but that's probably all packed up. He said, if you don't want to bother anybody, go right out in the middle of that field. I said, right out there in the middle of that field. And he said, right out there in the middle of that field. That's exactly where we went smack out in the middle, dead center of
you guys were like, for anybody that doesn't know what the layout is at Mulberry for Rendezvous in the Ozarks, and the main stage is back to the corner, and then you guys were probably 150 yards from us, maybe 150 yards from where our camp was at. And we were being loud, we were being retarded. And we walked over to you guys, and we couldn't even hear you from our camp. And you guys were hammering. You guys were having a good time. You weren't excessively loud.
No, the only music that we had there was, and I guess this is shout out to Turtle Box.
Yeah, you guys had my wife said you guys even had a moat around you guys so people couldn't get over there because you had that big ditch that's circling around there.
You literally had to like crawl through this big ditch we had to drive.
We crossed it drunk. I mean, Craig Puckett crossed that drunk. Mike Oxley, Taylor Wilkinson was with us, I believe, and we crossed that drunk because we were sat there and everybody in our camp was already getting ready to go to bed, and we were like, okay, it's 10:30. I'm like, the Canadians are just now firing up. I said, we're going over to the party. So we crossed over. We get there, walk in. The first thing Craig says is, oh, they speak English. yeah, they speak English. He's like,
we didn't bring an igloo, right?
Yeah, he's like your border security is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there no longer. You gave me a shot. You had some Old Smoky or something. You guys were drinking.
Yep.
You guys were drinking some Old Smoky. So BJ, you said, here, man, take a shot of this. We're sitting there and we're like, okay, it's fixing to kick off. We're fixing to come over here. We're fixing music's playing. Everybody's fixing to have a good time. And next thing we know, the freaking Duke boys slide in sideways.
Yeah. Rick rolls in, comes in from the side, yelling and screaming. And I'm looking at the time. I'm like, it's like 10:38.
It's like 10:34
on a Friday night, and I'm like, what? Right? And I'm just standing there, and I'm like, you don't even realize the chaos that you just created by doing that.
Yeah, it was it was ridiculous, and the whole turtle box thing, getting Okie Overland's turtle box, and
right,
and over,
and that was the kicker of it all was We were sitting there at like 7 o'clock, and we're just sitting in our chairs, no music, quiet, because Thursday night, the night before, we'd been drinking till 2 o'clock in the morning with our stereo going, and nobody came and said a word to us.
Yeah.
And it was like I said, like 2 o'clock in the morning. Not a word, peep, right? Yeah. And everybody had kind of, okay, we drank a lot last night. And we didn't.
You guys were being chill for what we expected to see when we showed up over there. We were expecting somebody was riding a moose. We didn't know what was going on. We thought we'd come over. We're like, they're fixing to be partying hard when we get there. And we're like, oh, they're just chilling. Yeah. They're just hanging out, listening to some music and chilling. I'm like, it's not even loud. We had a conversation, normal level conversation while we were talking.
Yeah. I have video footage.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is I don't know, like because there was a lot of chatter on the boards, afterwards, of course.
Yeah, there was a lot.
The whole. And I'm like, this is what we do. You think we didn't have video cameras going, and we're not doing all of this so that we can show people all of what happened. So like we have video footage, and it was tame. Like I'm standing there.
Yeah, you were 2 foot away from me. You were like, we were just like, oh.
And then all of a sudden he just comes in and boom, and I'm like, and I was very surprised that nobody even stepped off and just carried him out of there on top of it.
Well, we talked, we left, and we left, and we turned around and we kind of just sulked back into the shadows. We're like, oh shit, here we go. Yeah. We didn't know you guys that well. I mean, I didn't know you guys that well, and I was like, one of these dudes might just pop off. There might be, it could be, what I'm like, so we're just going to chill. We're just going to back up. Yeah. And Craig's like, shut it down. And so we leave, and they follow the 4 of us across the yard on the 4-wheeler. They follow us over there. And then they followed, Sean said they followed you guys over to the night out section, or whoever went to the night out section.
Well, yeah. So like, they're like, you're not supposed to do this here. If you want to do this, you go to the night owl section. I'm like, okay, this is what you asked for it. Like, you came in and you tore apart our quiet little circle. We not rowdy or nothing. You came in, yelling and screaming, and you kicked us out of here. Telling everybody. So then Oki and all of them are like, come with us.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like it was like a perfect storm because I mean, we just came down to meet people and have a good time.
You came to have a good time, and then I would have been like,
we weren't being loud or nothing. And then all of a sudden,
I'd have gave you guys a pass for the entire weekend because you drove the farthest. And you guys out here in the chat and stuff like that, or anybody that's going to watch this video later on, the guys and everybody that was with BJ, okay, every single one of those guys are super respectful. The ladies that were there and everybody was there, super respectful, super nice, super friendly. The consensus was with everybody else after this was done that if somebody had walked up in there and said, hey, guys, you're being a little loud, this is what it would have been. Okay, man, we understand. We'll turn it down a notch. And that'd been the end of it. Yeah, that could have been the end of the whole situation. But no, somebody had to show their ass. And that's basically what happened. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry if it makes you upset, but that to me, if I did it, I'd want somebody to call me out. If I rolled up in there and acted a fool, I want somebody to call me out on it for being that way. So, but that's how we met. I mean, that's how we got there. That's how we became. And then it's kind of morphed into this huge ordeal. Yeah. It's morphed into this huge ordeal. But we'll get onto that in a minute. But I'm sure there's some people that want to know some stuff about what it's like wheeling in Canada, because you got a killer rig, dude. I'm gonna post this up here real quick because I'm gonna add this up here. Like, this is your rig, dude. Like, you have an amazing setup. Like, this picture is so cool of you wheeling that thing right there.
It's not little.
No, it's not. It's massive, dude. It's a big ass Xterra. Big ass Xterra is actually what it should be called. Yep. So, I mean,
it dwarfs in any other, like, you put it beside a regular Xterra, it makes it look small.
Yeah, it's bigger than most JLs that, most of the Jeeps that we have out there. I mean, I saw it. I was super impressed by it. I was like, golly, man, this is because we don't see a lot of Xterras. We don't see that. Yeah, Craig's like here. Yeah, Craig's like this because okay, so Craig Puckett, Craig was there with us. Craig, myself, and Justin and Mike all were police officers. So at some point in time in our lives, and we were all like, "That's some bullshit."
Yep.
That was the bullshit.
Yep.
But yeah,
railroaded.
Yeah, he got me. Oh, Plymouth Rock didn't land on you.
That was bullshit.
But yeah, but no, that rig is super nice. I mean, it is. I'm excited about getting to wheel with you on it.
I just hope y'all can keep up.
Look, you're measuring in kilometers does not mean that you've gone farther.
Nah, it's it's a great overland rig. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a rock crawler. I mean, I drive it up rocks.
Yeah, I would beg to differ. With you.
I do dumb things with it that I probably shouldn't do.
Guilty.
And I've had it stuck a few times, and when you get it stuck, it's really stuck.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of ground clearance. It's short, so having lots of ground clearance, 35s, long travel suspension, and it doesn't too easy.
Sorry, I had one of my friends from Marist, but she popped in here. So I've seen her in the thing. Hey, Kim, it's good to see you too. I'm planning on coming back to Marist. Gina's coming for Adventure Heart. But yeah, go back to it, BJ. My bad.
It's full Titan swapped. So that's why it's so large.
Yeah.
It's basically, I'd say it's about 6 inches taller over stock, 6 inches wider.
Yeah.
When you do a Titan swap, you gain an extra 3 inches track width.
It's cool.
That's why it has that thing.
The reason why I'm jonesing a little bit on your Xterra, because before we got our Jeeps, before Gina and I got our Jeeps and stuff like that, my son was looking for his first rig, and we were going to get an Xterra for him, and we were going to do that. We were going to do that Overland Build for him, and we never found one that we really liked.
I got really lucky with it. Like I scored it for rather cheap, and I mean, obviously dumped a silly amount of money into it.
Yeah.
At this point,
a silly amount of Canadian money.
Everything on the screen.
How many loonies have you put into this?
Oh my God! I mean, there's like $8,000 on the roof.
Yeah.
That's
woo.
Yeah.
But it is badass, dude. It is one badass rig. Which was all you guys had cool rigs that were there, man. I mean,
yeah,
Chuck was there. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, you guys had some.
I'll toss a shout out actually right now.
Do it.
The whole ring. So we had myself, we had Mahovster with a Gladiator.
Yeah, I got his hat.
He gave me that. Christian Rezak. What's funny enough, we did that trip. They came home. They traded in that green JL. I think it was a JL.
Really?
They traded it in and bought a brand new Mojave in the blue, same as Matt McAllen's.
Oh, okay.
Gladiator. Yeah. So they've got a Gladiator now, and they're doing a full build on that. And cool. We had Road Rammer in the black Gladiator.
Yeah.
The yellow Rebel in that big bright yellow Dodge Ram, and then Overland Chuck in the ZR2.
Yeah, he had a cool rig too, man.
I love his truck.
Oh, it's super nice, man. I follow all you guys on Instagram and Facebook now, and you guys have some amazing off-road places to go, because it's Queensland. That's what you guys have. It's what's called Crownland, like our national forest that we get to go do.
Yeah, and we're fairly fortunate that I mean, if you go and look for it enough, you'll find places that, for the most part, are lakeside, riverside, water, by the water somewhere.
Yeah,
and easily can get to a point where, I mean, obviously no cell service, no any service.
Yeah.
There's not a soul around. You're miles and miles back, and it's not like you're on dedicated trail systems.
Yeah.
Like we do have here in Ontario, we have a trail system that is, it's called the OF 4-wheel drive, Ontario Federation of 4-wheel drive.
Is it kind of like our forest service roads that we have and stuff like that, I guess?
It's like, I guess it's private. There's like a board and everything, and it's
gotcha. Okay. All right.
They got a large number of volunteers that go out and they'll do, trail cleanups. They'll go do trail repairs, putting in culverts in places where the trails are washing away and stuff. And the nicest thing about the OF 4-wheel drive, they have there's a website, and you get a sign in and everything. So like you pay a yearly membership. Okay. And then you get active updates as to trail conditions. So say you want to go run a certain trail, and it's 2.5 hours from home, and there's certain things along the way. If there's a deteriorated part in the trail and somebody's ran that trail and updated about it, that'll be on the website. Okay.
Well, that's almost like that's way better than what we have for Forest Service, because we have an MBU map, which is a hot topic sometimes. Right. And that updates like once a year, and it'll tell us where trails are closed, if we can be on them, or what they're rated for, if they're side by side or whatever. But that's pretty cool. But that's kind of similar to like Onyx. I did it backwards. Onyx off road. So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like you could know the trail conditions because people post that stuff all the time.
Right. Yeah. But the difference between like using say Onyx or pretty much any of the apps that you're pinpointed in the app can follow you. The OF 4-wheel drive one is a standalone map, so you're basically just looking at a map, right? So it's not something that's going to track where you are. It's not going to show you where you are on the trail system. But it is fairly handy when you have all these trails rated at different levels. So somebody that buys in and they've just bought a brand new truck, they want to go out and go for a drive, dirt roads, see what their truck can do. They can at least see that they can go into a 2-wheel drive safe or stock 4-wheel drive safe. Okay. So that's pretty cool. They're all rated to the different levels, right?
That's awesome. I'm going to have to get accustomed to that before we head up there, because in case you guys don't know about all this.
Yeah. For everybody that does come.
Yeah. Watch this. So we're going to throw it up here real quick. So in case you guys don't know about this, they did the I Ain't Asking tour. So this, this is what happened after Rito. So we all got together, Craig Puckett and everybody, we got together and we started this up. And then we're all in we're in a chat group with a bunch of people. And there's like a metric ton of us. There's a metric ton of us going to Canada after Overland of America this year. So we're going to head up, and BJ has been kind enough to let us come up there and hang out with him and all of his friends, and they're going to take us out into the Crown Land and show us what all is going on. So I'm super excited. I mean, I got to learn to say a boot, an A, boot time up here.
A boot.
It's a boot. We'll trade. You can have y'all, and we'll take a boot. How about that?
Yeah, I like y'all. Okay. I probably overused the hell out of it.
Here, look, Tate is here, and he's like, my turtle box totally got violated.
It totally did.
Yeah, we tried to get Turtle Box. We tried to get Turtle Box to send us one to take up there, and we were going to take it up and return a Turtle Box and give you guys one. So, but they didn't pan out. But we tried. We tried.
It took a licking for sure.
Yeah. Tate. I got to say this about Tate though, because when we went over and talked to him, and we went by, we were going to buy a tent and or Craig was going to buy a tent from him the next morning. And I was like, so what happened over with the Canadian guys and everything? Tate was just like, mum's word. He's like, steadfast. He was not saying a word.
Yep.
But he's steadfast.
Last night.
Yeah, I got to go back and kick this. I got to go back and kick this horse again, though, because we left there, and walked out and took across it, and the radio had already lit up. We were walking past, my Jeep was over there, and I had my radio still on. And people that were nowhere near any of this had already wildfired, and people were talking about it. It was like, can you believe what they did to the Canadian guys over there? I'm like, how in the hell did this person already hear about this? So, but anyway, it worked out. Yeah, it worked out. We got to make some new friends.
Right? Like, had we not made the trip and come and been a part of it,
yeah.
Ultimately that it made the trip. I guess made the trip better because we came out of it with what we came out of. We came out of it.
Yeah, you came out with
we came out with so many more friends. You know what I mean? Like all these people that just came and they're like, "You guys are awesome! I can't believe all this happened." And we're,
I got a new drinking buddy. It's like,
drank a lot of whiskey that
night. Dude, we drink a lot of whiskey. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just a second ago I missed it, but Rev, who is the wandering possum, he was like, "What?" He's like, "What is BJ drinking tonight?" He wanted to know what you were drinking. Yeah.
Scotch.
That Scotch.
Yeah.
Yum down in my belly. Scotch. Yum.
Yeah.
This is what I was going to talk about earlier when we were chit chatting. It's like, so we walk into camp, and I'm like going over there, and I'm like getting, fixing to meet these stoic Canadian men that are down from, the Great White North. They're over there, we're expecting lumberjacks, that's what we're all expecting. And I go over there, and BJ comes up and he's like, "Here, take a shot at this." And it's some old smoky.
I think it was either caramel or
it was caramel.
It would have been caramel, I think. Yeah.
And I was so expecting some Canadian mist. This is what I was expecting. I don't know why I was expecting it, but that's what I was expecting. So,
we rolled in the store, and I'm just like, "Look at all these whiskeys!" Like,
oh yeah,
one of these, and one of those, and one of those, and then it was.
Craig said it was caramel. Craig said it was caramel.
Caramel or something. It was sweet. It was.
Well, I've almost finished off the show's bottle of Knob Creek, so that's what I've been drinking on while we do these podcasts and everything. But yes, but you are exactly correct, Rev. I do have more than one drinking buddy which you guys didn't make it over for the party when we had it over there, but we mixed up a big giant one of those big sport kegs full of Hurricanes. And I just had it strapped over my shoulder, just going around, just dousing everybody.
Well, that was from those little Kegerators from
the Kegerator.
God, yeah. Everybody grabbed one of those in camp. I think they bought all of them that he had.
Did you get one?
I didn't get one.
Oh, just one second. I'll be right back. So, since you didn't get one, I have one.
Oh my gosh.
I have one of these. I've got one because I bought like a ton of them while we were there because the guy was going out of business. So I got one of these, and this has not been used yet. So when I come to Canada or when we meet at Overland America, I'm bringing this to you, and this is going to be full of America's finest, cheapest liquid we can put in here. Yeah,
I'm holding you to that.
Yeah, definitely. That will be my gift to you for you taking us out on the town.
I can't wait. Because
yeah,
you guys.
I don't know how many days are going to be there. Like a month. I don't know.
You guys are going to come here and violate my backyard.
Yeah.
And then we're going to leave, and we're never coming back.
Then we're going to go away. I'm going to dress up like a Mountie when we cross the border. I'm so going to do that. I'm going to probably have my gladiator dressed up like a moose or something. I'm going to put a Canadian sticker on the side.
Like a big Bullwinkle kind of sticker or something for the hood.
Yeah, Dan, we're not doing the Oompa Loompa dance. I did that for you at Frosty Fenders because I thought you were going to keep that secret, and I should not have drank that much because I know it's going to end up on one of your videos.
Oh, boy.
But no, I wish you guys were like super closer, because we have gotten into doing these events, and we just finished up Frosty Fenders this last weekend, and it would have been just amazing to have you guys there for that. But you know,
interesting, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, it would definitely been interesting. It'd been a long drive for you guys to come down for 2 days. But
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you know, 3. I mean, it's 2,000 kilometers. It would be a solid, you know, like straight rip to do it in 2 days. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, like
3 days is like okay, you're tired, but you can do it.
Yeah. If you got, now I've told most of the people in here that I've told everybody. So when Overland of America comes around, we're going to be at Overland America. I'm really hoping you guys make it to Overland America. I know there's some stuff going on you guys are trying to work out, because we're going to be doing so much traveling in that little block of time. But where the Overland 870 group is going to be at, we're going to be camping with the Canadians. So if you guys do not want to party, you need to party somewhere else.
Don't camp near us. Like,
don't camp anywhere around.
Like even everybody here in Canada knows, don't camp near us if you want to sleep.
Like, they know my face is on the wall at the grocery store. You know,
they know. Like, they see the truck. Okay, don't park near that thing. They don't go to sleep. You know,
yeah.
And it's not that we're not rowdy. We're not.
You guys are fun to be around. I mean, like, you guys are a hoot.
Like, honestly, 99% of the time, when we have a fire, if we can have we're just sitting around a fire trying to get to the bottom of a bottle before we pass.
There you go.
Right? Like, and I mean, that's a good challenge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's all we want to do is just sit around and relax around a fire
and just talk and have a good time, man. And just do cool stuff and chill out. Speaking of doing cool stuff, okay, so you have to tell me about this epic adventure you guys had after you left. You left on the Ozarks.
I actually think somebody might have died on that epic adventure. Not our crew, but during the epic adventure. So we left Arkansas.
Yeah.
And Sean and Cassie tagged along with us, leaving the event, and we went and camped out near Car Wash Falls for the night.
Yeah.
To be able to say, we camped, not at Mulberry, whatever, just to do a little off-grid camp. And so we left there. Sean and Cassie go home. We leave. We start shooting towards Nashville.
Yep.
And then we get comms popping up, and it's, anybody have any issue if Sean and Cassie join us in Nashville? Wait, what? Yeah, they're heading home to Oklahoma, and then they're going to drive to Nashville and meet us in Nashville. We're like, all right, let's do it. So we got to Nashville. 1 o'clock. I think it was about 1 o'clock that night. They got to Nashville. We're already asleep. We all wake up in the morning, and here they are. They're here, and we literally did the strip in Nashville for 2 straight nights.
If you have not gone to their Instagram channels, go do it tonight and watch the insanity that it takes place while you guys are over there. And I'm not going to say who told me it was, Sean, that somebody stole a faucet. So tell me when this faucet got stolen.
Okay, so we did the bar bike, and so part of the process of the bar bike is they bring you to a bar that has a mechanical bull, and they give you coupons and everything. And they're like, okay, that's good for.
How did you guys even handle that? How did you guys handle mechanical? You guys got mechanical bulls in Canada?
We have like real bulls.
I was just wondering if you had like
we have real ones. The girls, they all wanted to ride the mechanical bull and say they did it, right? And so we go there, and the girls are all riding the mechanical bulls, and we go into the washroom, the guys. We come out, and I think it was Matt. was either Matt or it was Alex, one or the other. Again, far too much alcohol every night. And out of nowhere, there's a faucet off the wall from the bar. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And it's this like big J-hook nozzle. It's the faucet right off the wall. He unscrewed it and took it from the bar. And I'm like, okay, let's get on the bike. Let's go, right? And then
this is all the video.
He hands it right to the bar bike guy, right? The bar bike guy's looking at it like, well, I can't be part of this, right? He's like, I have nothing to do with any of this, right? Like, y'all are the most rowdy bunch I've ever had on this bike, period, right? We almost tipped that thing over.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Physics, right? And if you, a lot of the leaning and everything. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Not let Canadian like again.
The videos on Instagram are hilarious. Like watching you guys out there. Honestly, you're just having a blast, man. You're having a good time. And that just cements the whole thing about how much more fun that whole event could have been if we had all got to get together and do all that and not be, I get the thumbs down. You know what I'm saying?
And that, like I said, that's where I think as an event promoter.
Yeah.
I mean, like up here, I host events for. We do like off grid. We take people that have never done it before, and we take them off. And the idea is, you don't want people to be bored.
No,
right?
Of course not.
If you're leaving, like if you create an event and it's like, okay, here's the venue, this is your spot where you can be.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Don't kill anybody. Have fun.
You know what I mean? But and then you want, it's like, okay, well, that's it. That's your spot.
Yeah.
I have nothing for you. Figure it out. And then come and complain when you made your own excitement and you know what I mean? Like you took care of your own means by, having music and a little Ignic fire. Shout out to Ignic because
there you go.
Those fireboxes are cool. I bought one. But it was, we literally, I have video footage shows. We had an Ignic box sitting in the middle going, just standing around, and a turtle box. Yeah. Maybe have volume. And then some guy, Rick, comes around. I'm good. I ain't asking. Hence,
yeah. We like I said, we just finished up Frosty Fenders, and we went to Birds. We held this at Birds Adventure Park this year because we just couldn't get everybody into a camping spot in the Ozarks. It was just impossible. So we didn't want to do it at Mulberry Mountain because we didn't want to run into the issue that we had with you guys at Rideau and stuff. So we decided to go to Birds. So we get down there. We got everybody lined up. And of course, the A70 group, the guys that are all in here and the girls, everybody, we're rowdy. That's it. We're rowdy. We like to have fun. We like to be loud. We're obnoxious. We're not too crazy, but we like to have a good time. So we get there and everybody's checking in and stuff. And apparently somebody has rebooked a wilderness survival class the exact same time to stay at this place while we're there. Like we're just going outside. All we got is a tarp and a hatchet and some string. So they're canoeing these people across the river. And the lady's like, whatever you guys do, about 10 o'clock, try to be nice and, don't be too loud and obnoxious. And I'm like, it'll be okay. We're not going to be too bad.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're there the very first night we're sitting there and we're all got the fire pits up and a bunch of people are already there. We're sitting out there. We're drinking. We're laughing. Craig tries to set me on fire. I got a video of it. We're sitting there. And we're laughing, cutting up, and we're cooking food and everything else. And I'm in my head, I'm going, these poor bastards that are across this ditch over here are smelling us cooking food. They can see all these Devos lights up and all the campfires. And we're over there, laughing and cutting up. And we're over there having a good time. And I'm like, I bet they're just miserable laying out there in the dirt.
Thinking to themselves, like, why? Like, why? Of all things, right? Like, what do we really need these skills?
Yeah.
Right? Who am I trying to impress right now?
Yeah. And of course, it was we had there was some Subarus over there and some pickup trucks and everything else. And we're over there in all these rigs. We got all these Overland rigs. Tents are up, awnings are out, lights are strung up everywhere. The second night, everybody's arrived by Saturday, so everybody is there. And we are up till 4:00 in the morning. Oh, I'm not. I got drunk and went to bed. I had to go sleep. And everybody else is up till 4:00 in the morning, just partying and laughing and cutting up. And I'm like, these guys over here have got to be mad at us right now. There's no way around it. But you know what? You know what Bird said to us? Glad y'all had a good time, man. Everything was great. Y'all come back next year.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's how it should be. Why? Because you're a paying ass customer.
Yes, we brought a lot of money into that place for that weekend in the off time. We brought a bunch of money in there.
And that's
your bro just landed. Justin Williams just landed in the chat.
We brought 6 rigs to Rito.
Yeah.
And had nothing happened and it had just been smooth and no problem.
Yeah.
We would have doubled that or more this year.
That's exactly true. And they missed out on that.
We would have just come back, but we would have come back with way more. And instead of that, now the plan is to bring as many as possible to
Overland America.
So, I mean, as an event promoter, when you're trying to justify, maybe what's that some battles are best fought. There's a saying. I know.
Yeah, you got me. I don't know.
I can't remember the saying.
Throw some Star Trek out in there.
I know I've been told the saying plenty of times.
Yeah.
There's a saying for it, but basically, in a nutshell, sometimes you got to pick the right fight, pick the right battle.
Yeah.
And that definitely wasn't the one.
That was a bad choice. That was a horrible, horrible choice to move because it was already. I mean, pickings were already slim that year anyway. I mean, it wasn't a huge crowd.
Well, that was the other thing too, right? Like, everybody we talked to came to us and they're like, we're, it's kind of sucks that you're here on this year and you weren't here last year or any of the other ones because this is the smallest it's ever been and it kind of seems like it's shrinking. And it was just like, well, yeah, I mean, and at the same time, everybody's hidden back in the trees.
Yeah.
You could we're there and we're looking, we're like, there's lots of people, but not a lot of people that I'd seen in previous years, right?
It was. I mean, there's no denying it. It was a smaller crowd that year, and the year before that, we were there, and the crowd people were way louder last year. The year before last, they were way louder than you guys ever thought about being. And I know we kind of just keep hammering them on that, but it's like, at what point in time do you realize that the majority of overlanders that are going to this stuff? I'm not going to speak for everybody. I'm going to say the majority. I am doing this when I'm there. This is what I'm doing.
I literally
this is what I'm doing. I'm sitting around the campfire. I'm relaxed. I'm chilling. I'm talking to my friends that I don't get to see all the time. I'm making new friends. That's how we do this in this circle of life right here that we do. We go out and we meet people and we hang out with them and we decide if we want to hang out with them or not.
I didn't get in my truck and drive multiple hours up into the woods to set up my tent and then just go to bed.
Yeah, not happening.
That's there are times when, you get to camp late and that's just what happens kind of thing.
Yeah.
But in a nutshell, when I get there, I pull up, truck's parked, it's level, crack a drink, right? I'm gonna crack a beer, right? And have a beer while I set everything up and kind of going. And then, you get sitting around the fire, you got the fire going, it's crackling, you're relaxing, and it's just like, you know what I mean? And you're just like, and now I'm here.
Yeah.
And so you're telling me that, okay, So I just drove for 4 hours after I got off work, got to camp, finally got the fire started, and at 10:30 it's bedtime.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm not even halfway through the first glass of scotch. Like, come on, no way, right? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't work this week just so I could go to bed.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you've got to let people relax and let people cut loose. So I mean, the guys that I'm out with, I mean, how long have you been? Okay, so your group that you've been camping with and you've been wheeling with, how long have you been with those guys? How long have y'all been hanging out doing that?
A couple of years. I mean, people kind of come in, they go out, and they come in, they go out. People, I mean, a lot of people have different things going on in their lives. So sometimes, you get somebody, that comes in and hangs out for, a couple months, and they come out for a few times, and then they kind of wander off. But I mean, I've been at this solidly now 4 years with the truck. Like I've had this rig now for going on about 3, and then I had a truck, like a F-150 with a rack and a tent and everything before that.
And you guys, from what I get, you guys are a big deal in right there where you guys are at. You guys are a pretty big deal. You guys have a lot of people wanting to go out with you all the time, from what I understand.
There's a lot of people around, and again, I do the I try to right now. I'm trying to at least do a 1 per season open invite camp kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because there are a bunch of event promoters where they're like, come camp in our grass field.
Yeah.
Surrounded by a fence.
Yeah.
For $150 a night kind of thing.
Yeah.
And call it Overland. If you're going to do this and you're going to camp off grid and you're going to learn how to navigate trail, you're going to learn how to air down, you're going to learn recovery and all that. You're not going to do that
in a campground.
In a campground, right? It's not going to happen, right? And that's something like that's. It's very much for me, just teaching the basics of airing down.
Uh-huh.
I have personally, to so many new people, shown people and they've seen the difference between highway pressure to a trail pressure on their tire, right? Because not every tire is the same, and not every you don't want to say, oh well, you should always run at 12 psi. Well, not every person wants to bring their AT tire on a 20-inch wheel down to 12 psi, right?
Yeah.
So you have to know what those people should be running, and the idea of looking for the tire bulge and how they do things, right? So it's for a lot of people up here. I mean, I've been doing this a fair amount of time, and I'm obviously, I'm learning every time I go out. I mess up. I figure shit out a lot. I do. Go on to our YouTube, right? And you'll see we do get stuck. And we bury our trucks, and we got to figure it out. But at the same time, it's learning how to not do it at the same time, and how to do it safely, and how to keep people right. That's the big thing, right?
Yeah, and like I said, when we come up, we're looking at bringing I think 12 to 14 rigs is what we're bringing from Oklahoma, from there. That's just ridiculously too many. I know that's ridiculous.
You got a big backyard.
Yeah, it's like going to be, but we've had to adopt this little thing where it's like every man for himself. So if you have a catastrophic failure on the way there, you just get left behind. It's like we're just going to cut. It's like that movie. What is that movie where they have that train or whatever it is that goes down in the earth and they have to cut the little cars off of it? What is it? Core? Was it something like that?
I think I saw that at like 3:00 in the morning one night on TV.
Yeah.
I never saw that. I never knew the name of it, but I have seen that. I know exactly what you're talking
That's
about.
what it's going to be like. We're going to be driving to Canada, and this big giant is going to take an entire state for us to clear all the
and like 4 of you are going to make it.
Yeah, that's we're going to get there and be like, it's all the Hunger Games. This is all that's survived this point, you know.
All the Toyotas aren't making it.
No, I don't know. Justin's rig will make it because he drives it all over the place. So I know, but it's it's going to be fun. I mean, there's a lot of folks in that chat that we're having. It's like I said, it's been dead for a minute because everybody's been doing so much other stuff. But we're fixing to get on some Zoom calls and get everything. Justin's like, I bet the Jeeps won't make it. I'm like, come on, mine will make it. It might be on the back of a truck when it gets there, but it'll make it. But it's going to be fun, and you've got some really cool places for us to go out and see and stuff.
Some places to take you, and like I said, the idea is when we leave here, we don't come back.
There you go.
And so for however many, and like our logistics, we'll have meetings on that, and we'll figure out how many days and everything. And basically, it'll be we're going to leave here, and we're going to tour, and we're going to do Ontario, and you're going to get the whole aspect.
I am going to ask this. I am going to ask the first night when we get there. The first night after, let's do the second night. So because we're going to be tired depending on when we get there. But like the second night we get there, we've got to go out and invade some local bar that you have. We have to go. We have to go invade it.
Exactly which one for you? I already know.
We have to go invade this bar because I'm burping now because of all this whiskey. I have a horrible accent. I mean, like I have the worst accent ever. So I'm going to stand out. But Justin Williams' accent is 100% worse than mine. So they're going to be like going, about time these crazy people got here, eh? Bunch of hosers. I had to throw all the Canadian words in one sentence.
It's better because it's like an Irish pub.
Oh, an Irish pub. Okay, so there we go. I almost did it. I almost ordered an Irish car bomb. I was almost can't order that.
Perfect.
But yeah. Someone's going to land it. This is it. We've talked about this. Justin and I have talked about this back and forth in private chats. We're trying to figure out what Canadian jails look like. And
from what I've been told, they're pretty lax. They're pretty lax. You get like arts and crafts and everything.
Arts and crafts in Canadian jail. I mean, well, we're right there.
Yeah. So I had a crib board made for me from jail that was sent to me from jail. I still have this crib board that was made in jail, all oak and mahogany, and it's really, really nice.
Okay, you got to tell me who this is because I don't recognize this person. The Kilted Overland.
That's John Dagg. That's the red Chev truck that he's got the trailer that's always with us. He's literally like the only guy that comes out with us with a trailer. Okay. So yeah, he's the big Scot he's got the mane of hair and
this guy and me are drinking together when we get there. Is he going to be there?
He's going to be here. Okay,
so we're drinking together. Kilted Overlander, me and you, buddy. We're drinking, me and you.
And he's the size of me and you together. He's
I'm 6'7". I'm like 6'7". How big is this dude? I'm like 5'5".
He's a big dude. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
But he's a gem. No, he's the best.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm so excited about going and doing this trip with you guys. You have no idea. I talk about it all the time to my friends. I'm talking about it to people, I'm like, we're going to Canada. We're going to go raise some 9 kinds of hell in Canada.
Oh yeah.
We're just going to have
I'm like the idea is, like 2 hours from here, we're going to be.
Yeah.
So like realistically, once you hit the border, it's going to be like a 2-hour stretch from the border to here.
Yeah.
And then from here, 2 hours, we're going to be in the trees.
Yeah. Because I'm looking at spending, me personally, because I know everybody's time frame is going to be a little bit different on this deal. I don't know what Craig's time frame is. I don't know what Justin's is. I mean, I don't know everybody else that's coming, what their time frames are. I'm staying as long as I possibly can. There's a possibility I might be getting mail at your house. It's just like I have no idea.
All right. I got a spare room. I'm in the spare room right now. Actually.
Fortunately, all of us have rooftop tents, so we should be able to sit outside and sleep which the weather's going to be pretty reasonable when we get there.
Oh yeah. The weather's always pretty decent here that time of year, and the yard's massive.
Yeah, you got a wonderful place, dude. I've seen the pictures of that. That's an amazing place where you live.
So putting a dozen rigs down the yard, not a problem.
Yeah.
And most are going to complain that they have to leave because we're right on the water.
Mm-hmm.
So like once we start the bonfire, when you guys land, everybody's going to be like, why are we leaving? Right? Like we're here, right?
Yeah.
No, we got some beautiful spots to go to.
It's just going to look at because we're going to cross. We've decided that we're going to cross at Niagara Falls. So we're going to cross at Niagara Falls. I have never been to Niagara Falls. Gina hasn't been to Niagara Falls. I don't know who else hasn't been there. Craig's going to be unemployed, so he's not worried about how long he's going to be there for. But it's just going to. I don't even know. I've been watching border crossing videos for like the last couple months. I'm like trying to figure out like what to say, what not to say. I know I got to leave all my firearms at home. A couple people have mentioned that in the chat. I know I got to leave my guns at home.
You just can't bring anything like because we're not allowed to have like scary guns here.
Yeah.
But like if it's not like you can bring a 22 or a shotgun.
Yeah, I don't even want to risk carrying that across the border. It's like because just my luck, I'd get there and they'd be like bracelets.
Yeah, right. Pretty much.
Get you back across the border because you can't come to Canada if you have a DWI either, can you? And they're like,
I don't know about the coming back, but like it just depends, right? It depends on everything you've got cleared, right?
Yeah, I mean, we should be okay. I'm not concerned about that. But if you do happen to cross the border with us and you get put in Canadian jail across the border, it's every man for himself. We'll get you on the way back. Except if it's me. If it's me,
yeah, don't leave me here with the maple syrup people.
Don't leave me in Canadian jail. I don't know, man. They may have really good food in there. I don't know.
And all the health care you can.
All the free health care. Canadian bacon in there in jail and stuff like that. I mean, I don't even know what's on Canadian Netflix. I don't even know what's on Canadian Netflix.
Sucks. we don't even have. Actually, I think the wife was talking about getting it the other day, but last time we had it, Canadian Netflix, it was bad. It's like you watch like 6 or 7
videos and stuff like that. Don't you get like the secondhand English stuff? I don't know.
It's to a point where it's like you watch like 6 or 7 of like the new things, and then it's like there's nothing.
Yeah, that's American. That's American Netflix.
All we watch now
is watching Chinese movies. We're watching the Squid Game.
I'm watching Landman right now.
Ooh.
I like that. That's
a good show.
I like that.
That's a good show. None of that actually happens in the United States.
Well, no. That's what happens in Alberta.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a. Oh, but yeah, how much? Yeah, think about it. How much whiskey can we bring back from Canada? Like all we want?
That's a great question.
Like okay, so here's a big question. So what can we not take and what can we not bring back? You think?
So it's not based on quantity, based on what can you. It's based on time.
Uh-huh.
The longer you're in country, the more you can bring back.
Okay.
Right. So like, if you just cross the border, stay a night, and then come back, you're allowed to, like, from our side to down and come back. I think it's like you can bring back a 2-4, or you can bring back 2 bottles of liquor.
Yeah.
Well, because we were down there for 10 days or 11 days.
Yeah.
I got to the box, and the guy's like, anything to declare? And I'm like, I have 4 bottles of moonshine, 2 bottles of whiskey, and every bit of the case of beer still in the back of the fridge. And he just looked at me, looked at the truck. Welcome back to Canada. And I just off I went, right? And I was just like,
it's about time you came home, eh?
Right? And I'm like, I don't know. But you can, as far as I know, like there's different values based on duration.
Yeah.
So it's not. It literally depends on how long you are there, and they know exactly. Like when you cross over, detail gets handed to when you go back.
Oh,
so when you go back, when you go back,
Yeah.
they ask you, and they're like, "So how long have you been?" And they're looking at the thing, like they're like, "Okay, are you gonna lie right now?" You know, and they're
I didn't
waiting.
even cross my mind about that log and how long you've been out of the country and then back into the country. That never crossed my mind.
It becomes a file. So the second you come into the border crossing, your license plate comes up, and they're like, "Okay, yep, crossed the border 9 days ago. All right,
Yeah.
so how long ago did you cross the border?" And they're because they want that defiance, they want that that answer. Right? So as long as you have all the answers, I had to like triple answer, right? They're like, "So how long have you been?" And I'm like,
I have no idea. I was drunk most of the time. I have no idea.
Like we were gonna stay another night, but
Yeah. And we're gonna be dressed. We're gonna dress Canadian too while we're there. Yeah, we're gonna dress Canadian too. I mean, I don't
do that. That'll be hot. That'll be
watch
hot.
every episode of Letterkenny. I know how to dress Canadian.
I want to see that.
I got a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey. I'm ready to go, buddy.
Hang on a second. Nope, I'm not. Oh, there.
What? Whoa, it's a family show, BJ.
I know, right? I was like, I came home and I was like, oh, I'm gonna change, and I put my stuff there. And there you go.
Oh, look, Toronto Maple Leafs.
I got taken over by I was like, oh, I got to get this all set up before I even change, and forgot to change, and so yeah. Sure, it's right there.
Yeah, Tim's like, I'm taking some border guards, some candied jalapenos as a bribe.
They are not. They're programmed different at the border. I don't know.
Well, like I said, I've been watching those videos, dude. I've been watching the border crossing videos, and I'm like, looks like it's the luck of the draw. You might get a doucher, or you might get somebody that's cool. You never know who you're going to get.
The job I couldn't do because I like to just talk to people and
I mean, like, what have you been doing in America?
Like, hey, did you guys have a good time? Right? No, like it's straight up just all right. Get the fuck over the border. Like they don't care, right? Like they're just like whatever. Go.
It's like, get in here. I'm telling you, dude, I want to hang out with this dude so bad now. This kilted Overlander dude. I just want to hang out with him so bad. Like,
I'm telling you. So
does he have an Instagram or does he have YouTube, Instagram and stuff?
He does.
Do you Kilted Overlander? You got that stuff? Send that to me. Look, get on Facebook and find Brad Lowry on Facebook and friend me on Facebook. You giant dude, friend me.
John, get on that, John.
Get on there, friend me, dude, because we're gonna hang out.
Middle of winter, the dude's wearing. Every time we go camping, John's wearing a kilt.
Really? I think I could rock a kilt. I think I could do it. I think I could pull it off. It'd probably be like a washcloth because my legs are so short. But I mean,
I swear to God, John, we get to camp and like there's sometimes he gets out of the truck and he's wearing pants and we're all just like, the hell is that? Like
it seems like he's gonna be a hoot, dude. He seems like he's gonna hang out.
And it's just like, what are you doing, right? Like that looks weird because we're so used to always seeing these all the time. Doesn't matter the weather, and like it could be. It snowed. We camped last year for Easter.
Yeah.
We deep fried a turkey in the woods.
There you go. That sounds like fun.
It was amazing. It was amazing, and John's the guy that he doesn't care. If it's snowing, he's having a hot shower on the side of his truck.
Look, I got to freeze this whole conversation right now. I got to freeze this because I guess I've become unnaturally obsessed with this guy now because we've talked about it. But in my head, I see the big, giant, redheaded guy from Game of Thrones.
I'm telling you, he's who
I see in my head when I see these guys. I'm like, this is who I see now.
I have a photo. I'll send you this photo later. And like, he's got his arm wrapped around my head, and he's just giving me this hug kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
And you're a big dude.
And I'm not small. I'm not a small guy, right? And he makes me look small.
Yeah.
And he's a big Scott looking dude, right? And it's just like, and he's our big bodyguard, like he's Big John.
I'm stoked to go do this trip, man. I am so excited. Yeah. Yeah, that's right here. I'm gonna find it hard, difficult to return to the U.S. You know, it's possible. A long time ago, so like I would say, like years and years ago, before Gina and I got together and everything, before kids and all that stuff, I was going to move to England. Can you believe that? Somebody that would live in England.
Can you imagine how boring that would have been?
The country probably would have been completely different by now if I was there.
Good Lord. The amount of tea you would have had to drink. Okay? Like, Christ.
It's like those little tiny crackers they call biscuits.
Oh, yeah.
I've got those.
Like, no offense to England, but.
Yeah, you guys will get in trouble if you say too much.
I mean,
Gotcha.
Censorship, and, you know, we're all like queen. And,
yeah.
You know?
I went, okay, so I was like 24. And I went to Vancouver and Victoria. So I went to British Columbia.
Now I know how old you are. Do you remember that? Like,
dude, I was like, dude, I'm old, bro. I'm 50.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I know how old you are.
Yeah. So I went to Vancouver, and actually we're in Victoria, and we did some kind of touristy deal with Bob. Which, by the way, that place is completely full of Asian people. I didn't see anybody but Asian people when I was in Vancouver and Victoria. That's awesome.
Little tourist thing.
It was touristy, super touristy. So we go in there and we go to have dinner or brunch with the Queen. So like we have this little fantasy brunch thing, you know. Of course, I'm there with my family, and we go in there and do this. And I've teamed up with this dude who is like on this trip also. And so we're like drinking. We're at this fancy thing. He's like, "Hey, you should steal that teacup." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You should steal that teacup from the table." And I'm like, "No." And I'm like, "Okay, we'll steal this teacup."
Yeah, right.
So I pocket this teacup and saucer, and I got it in my hoodie. And so we scurry out, you know, and everything else. And I'm like, here I am thinking I've just robbed an entire bank. You know, I got this. And I'm like, I get out. We get on the bus, and rolls up the police. The police gets up on the bus, and I'm like, holy shit.
They're
like,
on you.
Come for me because of this teacup. And I'm just freaking out there, you know. And he's like, this bus is parked in an illegal park spot.
Oh, geez.
And I'm already trying to figure out where I'm going to ditch this teacup at. You know, I'm trying to who I'm going to pin it on. There's a little Korean guy over here. I think I can get in his bag. I don't know if he knows what's going on. You know,
it's like swiping an A&W mug from the A&W. Rolling to an A&W up here, and they give you the big frosted mug. Yeah, that's going with me. Right? Like, and they wonder why those don't end up in their return trip. Like, what do you think, right? Like, that it's like this tall. It's weird.
Why not take it? It's there. They gave it to me.
Gave it to me. Why not, right?
Oh, bro. Well, we have already shot past our 1 hour marker, but it's been so much fun talking to you, BJ.
Yeah.
You have no idea how much I've missed being able to just face to face with you, dude, because you're such a cool guy, man.
Yeah, brother.
And I appreciate it so much. Once again, I'm gonna toss it up on the screen. The I Ain't Asking tour. We're heading to Canada after Overland America.
Really?
If you guys want to come to Overland America and hang out with us. Chris and Robbie are putting on a great deal out there, man. Come check it out. Overland 870 is getting ready to run out our next event. It's going to be Bourbon on the Buffalo. That's going to be coming up. Tickets are on sale now. You can look on Facebook and get that. That just covers your camping because we're picking up the whole campground for everybody. So tickets are free, but you got to pay for your camping. But we got to do it this way. BJ, any shout outs you want to give to anybody, brother?
I guess toss to the sponsors a little bit, right? Let's get Go Overland Canada, which they're now in the States. So all you Americanese, search up Go Overland. Their tents, kick ass, super comparative. Every option that you want are already in them. Mm-hmm. So, look them up. Winter liners, boot bags, your ladder bag, all the LED lighting, all that stuff. Muley gear, recovery gear.
Yeah.
takes care of us pretty well. And of course, always the Hustle clothing gear. Hustle clothing, they've had me from day one. So gotta keep representing Hustle. Jason at Hustle, he'll take care of you. Message him up, look up Hustle clothing, and those guys.
I'm gonna hit them up tonight because you showed me some sick ass plaids you had a while ago, and I'm gonna get one of those.
Dude, I'm telling you, listen, we'll get you straightened away.
Woo! I'm rocking my cap, Crystal Lake Counselor right here since 1935.
It's a little beyond your age range.
I'm old as dirt, bro. Social Security number's 3. Brother, it has been outstanding getting to talk to you tonight, and I'm glad everybody stopped in the chat and hung out. I appreciate all you guys from up north jumping in here and blowing it up for BJ. It just shows how awesome the dude is.
I didn't even look at the chat thing. I should have turned the phone on and watched the chat.
Yeah, bro, they've been blowing it up, man. Your boys have been in here representing hard, so
I'm glad
they've been here taking good care of you guys. Once again, Overland America, we're going to the I Ain't Asking tour all the way back to Canada. I'm going to have BJ back on here again before Overland America because we're going to talk about what's going on, if he's going to be able to get the guys to make it down. If you want to come out and hook up with these guys and have a good time and hang out and meet some really cool people with some really cool rigs,
and drink whiskey together.
Yeah, come drink whiskey with us. Always. There we go. It's going to happen. Come out, hang out, have a good time, guys. And as always, thanks each and every one of you for showing up. I may drink a little too much tonight while we're chit-chatting, but it's all good, brother.
That's how it goes.
Later, folks. Have a good evening.
Have a good night.